I want to do a shadow card reading now. And just what shadow aspects we might need to work with. And I went to put my deck away and all of these cards fell out. So I feel like they're prevalent. I feel like they're part of the reading. So we're going to talk about them as well. So this is kind of the theme of the shadow aspect. So when we track shadow aspects in ourselves, we actually end up reclaiming different parts of ourselves. So since I wanted to do a reading on shadows and this is what came out, this is some of the things that will come from you integrating the shadow. So if you're going through a dark night of the soul right now, this is a reading for you. And you have whale spirit energy helping you. You have spider spirit, you have cat spirit, hawk spirit, and porcupine spirit right now. And so just allowing yourself to be a novice at this, just allowing yourself to really understand that dark nights of the souls don't last forever. It feels like you might want to cry forever. It feels like you might be in a negative state forever. You're not going to feel like yourself ever again, but it's not true. And I actually get excited now when I go through dark nights of the soul, because dark nights of the soul are so transformative and I get the most powerful psychic capacities or beautiful manifestations or things from them, and they just become such a, like, I'm excited for them now, even though like they still are uncomfortable and I don't like how I feel often. I'm able to sit in them. And so that might be a call for you. First of all, if you don't know how to do shadow work or dark night of the soul, journal. Get it out. If you don't want to keep stuff around for people to read, write it on a piece of paper and then burn it after, throw it away, and just get it out, or lock it somewhere in your phone. But really just like writing out how you're feeling, even if it's gibberish. It's not meant for other people to read and judge. It's meant for you to release things that are trying to leave your field and your system, especially if they're toxic or negative, and so that you don't keep them inside of you. Like, you are a creator, you are a powerful manifester. So if you have it's almost like cleaning up. It's like you having a shower, but energetically. It's like when you purge some of those things out, or you talk them out, or you write them out, you can actually get rid of them from your system, and then they stop blocking what the purity that is you and that is arising within you and that is always trying to manifest. Okay. So then the other thing is spider spirit, making your dreams come true. So spiders, to me, whenever I see them in my energy field, it depends what they're doing. If they make like a web around my car, around a mirror or something, they're showing me a need for protection in some area of my life, right? If they just show up in my experience, or I see a beautiful web somewhere, not on my own stuff, like that can show you how you're weaving the web of your own destiny, and that it can be a sign of manifestations coming in. And it's a sign of like owning your gifts, owning your beauty, owning your unique capacities. Because if you ever look at a spider web, you will notice how it's not very, it's like very unique and beautiful, right? And if you think of like, what are the dream catchers that people make? They're just so, so beautiful. And this is also connection to like the web weaver, and she is the dream maker, and she is the weaver of destiny, right? And like the fates, they might call them in some other traditions and things like that. So that's what the spider represents for me. I don't live in a place where we have poisonous spiders. I used to. I didn't love that. Spiders really freaked me out then, but honestly, if spiders freak you out, if you just put some lavender and water and spray it around different corners of your home, especially the door frames and stuff, they don't really like that oil and they just won't come around, right? And I spray it on my pillows and my bed sheets and stuff. It helps me sleep, and then it also just keeps them away. So if you're scared of spiders, I try not to kill anything anymore as much as I can. I just think there's enough violence on the planet. We don't need to be expressing more if we can help it. I mean, if you eat meat still, I mean, it's another whole other conversation. It's not to judge yourself, but it's just like, you know, reduce the amounts of violence that you can have, or the amounts of irrational fear that you can have in as many ways as possible. And I say irrational with a very grain of salt, because obviously, like, you might have died in a past life from a spider bite, and that may be why you're scared of spiders now. And so, you know, always just honor what's going on in your system, but I really try not to kill things if I don't have to. And then whale spirit is a connection to Lemuria. It's connection to the ethers. It's connection to the star realms. I believe the ocean and water, they hold great portals. I believe that whales and dolphins and all of those beings are actually high frequency wisdom beings and wisdom keepers, and angels even incarnate. And so the whale is also just about finding your voice. It's about exploring your life and in a way that is renewing it and renovating it in such a way that you are free and that you are exploring unafraid, that you know your own strength, you know your own beauty, you know your own power, you know your own song, you know where your heart is guiding you. And whales navigate the ocean through their hearts and through their other senses, right? And so that's a mirror for you to try to do that as well. And then right now you're probably in a state of claiming your independence. Now remember, these are collective readings, so take what fits and leave what doesn't. You might just really be changing your wardrobe. You might be changing the way you express yourself, even the way you speak. You might really be starting to stand up for yourself now, or saying no where you didn't before, and it might just be a new way for you to be, but it is time for you to reclaim that strength and that independence. We are being called as starseeds, as light workers, to claim this within ourselves, so that we can have these strong capacities to hold all the blessings that are incoming to us. And as the new earth bursts, and as we can kind of take it back to sovereignty and bring it back to Gaia and bring it back to traditions, we are going to need those strong ways of being and those strong values instilled in our children and in the people around us. And also, when we stand strong in our power and our sovereignty and who we are, and in our heart and in our intuition and lit with Creator, we wake up other people around us. Those holy fires spread and they touch all of the people around us, and we are all connected through the heart and the womb webs. And then we can really give people a gift that we didn't even know, like a transfusion of energy. So nowadays people value their material wealth, their businesses, all these material things way more than their own energy fields. And like, you are the gift, your essence, your being here, your energy, you are the gift. Your heart, you standing in love, you choosing to be a bridge of spirit to this physical realm, that is a gift to people. Whether they value it or not, whether they even know if it's happening, you are giving them a gift. You are giving them a precious gift. You are giving them a spiritual transfusion of spiritual food and nourishment that they don't even know that they're starving for. And what you're going to notice as you do this, as you allow divinity to pour through you and to glow through you, you are going to notice that your energy is feeding other people who are starving. And more people are going to come around you. Some people are going to try to overtake. So this is where you also claim your independence and you have strong boundaries. You know when to say yes. You know when to say no. You know when to take a rest and replenish yourself when you've been depleted. And then you know when you can come back and give more. And you can also, in this, you'll start to strengthen in all layers and all levels, and you'll have a higher capacity to reach and hold that space for even more people. And that's what's birthing through you right now. And that's why you have all these powerful energies going through you. Porcupines too, they're so strong. They are so beautiful. They live in the river valley where I'm from, and they actually, they have ability to protect themselves. They're pretty predator proof. But I also believe they can swim and they know how to take care of their family. They're very family oriented. They're also really peaceful. I remember one time I was meditating in my backyard, and I was on the left side of my backyard, and it was a pretty big backyard, I guess, but I was meditating, and all of a sudden I heard something, and I opened my eyes and I looked, and there's this giant porcupine walking, and I freaked out and ran inside because I just started my spiritual journey, and I was like, oh my God. But when I went back into the energy, it knew I was there. It knew I was meditating. A lot of animals love when I meditate, especially outside. Places that I will meditate will end up having a plethora of ladybugs, dragonflies, butterflies be there after. I've meditated in many different yards and houses, friends' houses, clients' houses, and this has always happened. It shows that the blessing comes there. And the porcupine knew that, and it wanted to be by that energy, and it also knew it was safe to cross through my yard while I was doing that, because it knew I wouldn't hurt it. It knew it read the divinity in me, right? Because animals are closest to divinity. That's why I use them in my readings, and I gather information from the signs. So animals are really telling. So when you see them around, look them up. There's so much stuff on the internet now. You can look up animal spirit guide. You could look up if you've seen a porcupine or if you see a type of bird, and it will have a spiritual meaning, right? I've been seeing blue jays all week, and blue jays to me are twin flames. They're divine union. They are communication because they're very loud birds. They are mated pairs. They're very much about family. They're very much about privacy. But they know their worth. They know their beauty. They know what they offer. They know where they are and where they stand in the hierarchy of nature and things, right? And porcupines are the same way. And animals come on into their own. They're the closest to Creator still, and they don't have these ability to self-loathe and to self-harm. So animals are just a really way to connect with divinity and to connect with a higher power and to literally teach us what unconditional love is supposed to be like. Animals also really express the origins of creation. They really express how divine masculine is actually meant to be expressed. They really express how divine feminine is meant to be expressed, not the way humans have define male and female. Those constructs have enslaved us, and that's why they're being ripped down right now within our living environment and just the evolution of humanity. But animals will show you exactly how Creator intended things to be in their origins. Okay, so we have hawk spirit here. Blue jays are beautiful birds, right? I love them. I love watching the birds. I love talking to the birds. Like, I will just be like, oh, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. Although we have magpies where I live, and they have been harassing my cat, and she's very sweet and gentle, and she doesn't go harass them. So I'm not sure why they're doing that, but I still just love all animals, and I talk to them, and it's so funny because I know that they understand me. I have had that gift since I was a little girl to talk to animals, and have always known, like, I've been able to train them. They really understand me. They know what I'm saying. And like, it's really funny when you talk to birds because they're like, oh, you know that I know. It's so cute. And birds just love to be told they're pretty. But anyway, I digress. But we're on to birds. So we have hawk spirit here. Hawk spirit is tied to Horus. It's tied to Osiris and Isis. It is like, well, this one says let spirit be your guide, but hawks are also a sign that your manifestations are coming in, that you have ultimate protection, that you have a bird's eye view. So you're actually seeing the situation accurately and from a bigger picture. So whatever you're going through right now, you are seeing it clearly. So you trust yourself. Don't trust your outer environment so much right now, and don't trust the validation of others, especially if it's going against what you know to be true in your heart and your gut. And if your heart and your gut are in alignment, that's another sign that you are completely on point with what you know and what you believe. But if one is out of the other, always go with your gut, right? If like mind and heart and gut are not, I guess there's three, mind, heart, and gut aren't aligned, go with your gut, because it's usually the meeting point of the two, okay? And hawk spirit is also just a sign of extreme connection to divinity. It is a sign that you have made it, your hard work has paid off, you are kind of at the top of your game, you are really flying high and soaring free, right? And so again, that's another sign that your manifestations are incoming, and that's just a really beautiful place to be. And so also it's a connection to the spirit realms. Like, you are highly, highly connected to your guides, to your angels, to your inner wisdom, and all of these animals might be signs. So if you see them throughout the week, if you hear about someone talk about a spider or a whale or cat or hawk or porcupine, or you see them in a picture, or you see them in a logo, they're coming to remind you of all kinds of things. Or they're coming to remind you to be patient with yourself, like, let yourself be in these beginning stages as you work through this dark night of the soul. They're reminding you that you're finding your voice in your heart, you're finding your clarity. The dark night of the soul, it's like justified anger, in the sense of, like, it really helps us understand what it is we need to let go of, because those things might be holding us back. Sometimes we love things to the detriment of ourselves. Sometimes we love things that are absolutely not good for us, or relationships, and we just can't see because we want it so bad, and we have this attachment to it, and we hold on to it for dear life, and sometimes it's just not the best thing for us. Like, I had some really dear friends in my life, like, you know, they say, like, people come to your life for a time, a reason, or a season, but I've had really dear friends in my life that I loved, and I thought they were so good and healthy for me. And then there was, like, something that happened, and we just had a frequency misalignment, and we just moved away from each other. And when I left those situations, I was like, oh, actually it was holding me back so much, because I was looking to them for leadership and guidance, but they weren't going in the same direction as me. They weren't going the same way. So I feel like this is a message for someone, like, be okay with allowing doors to close. Be okay with allowing relationships to leave. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It's literally, everything's about energy and frequency. We are being reattuned. We are being reprogrammed. There's a massive ascension going on this planet right now. When certain people leave your life, it doesn't even need to be dramatic. It might be anyway, but it literally, like, grieve, of course. When we love someone, it's really hard to let something go, but, like, sometimes that frequency is just not aligned. Sometimes it's holding it back. Like, even in some of those relationships, like, I'd have a divine channel, and instead of going on this channel and sharing it with the collective who needs it most, and who then spirit will, like, spirit guides the right people to these messages at the right time, right? So if instead of going on there and sharing it there so that people would find it, I would share it in that chat. And obviously I believe that had a purpose as well, but it was kind of like holding me back from sharing my divinity in the world, because I'm so authentic. I can't just cultivate that message again. Like, it's gonna spontaneously arise from me. And so just noticing where some things might be holding you back because you might be playing small there. You might still be trying to match someone else's frequency that you have outgrown, and that doesn't mean a relationship necessarily needs to end either. I'm just talking about organically, if these relationships are ending, maybe allowing that, or maybe just seeing where some things are holding you up and holding you back. Some of you might be trying to manifest marriage because Hera's here. And let's look into some of these shadow aspects. So we have illusion, we have Nephthys, overcritical, and past trauma. Okay, so Nephthys is here, and she is the goddess of protection. And there again is that Egyptian connection. There's a connection to the hawk. There's also a snake here. There's falcons here. She has hawk wings on her back. She's an angel. And Nephthys is the goddess also, I believe she's a goddess of relationships, and she is a goddess of like crafts and creativity and artistry and like grieving. Like I know she used to help make the shrouds for grieving families, and she comforts grieving families and things like that. So again, that grief in the heart might be coming up right now. Past traumas might be coming up, and just understand, like sometimes if you wake up and you're so emotional, or woke up on the wrong side of the bed, as they say, sometimes that is past life stuff emerging. Sometimes you can just say, Creator, clean me off of anything that no longer resonates in my field, or anything I'm not aware of that I'm needing to let go of. Like that's a really powerful prayer, because sometimes you just need to be cleaned. You don't need to see all your past lives to clean them. We just need to bring in divinity for some of them we have to witness. We do. Some of them it's just a reclamation of why we're here, and we do need to witness them. I help people do this all the time. Some of them just need to be witnessed by other people in their divinity. So sometimes working with a powerful healer, like that's why I do past life regression therapy, working with a powerful healer can be really helpful with that. And sometimes you can just bring God there. And sometimes you can just be like, I don't know what's clearing from myself. Sometimes you're not even clearing your own stuff from your cells. You're actually clearing from your whole ancestral line. It is coming out from your cells, and it is coming out that is coming out of the like just your frequency, because you're the physical embodiment of that whole energetic timeline. That's what a generational curse breaker is. There's varying forms of that, but that's one of the ways. Like we are the light pillar. We are the anchored embodiment of life force here. And sometimes that physical expression is coming through, and it is being released through your physical incarnation. And sometimes that's just a physical process that we don't even ever have words for, that can create a lot of mental triggerings and emotional triggerings. And this is why when we're partnered with divinity, we can clear and alchemize these things faster. We can understand what is ours and what's not ours, so we don't get trapped in the labyrinth of that, and we don't get trapped in this like self-loathing, beating ourselves up, self-sabotage kind of cycle with it, blaming ourselves because we couldn't manifest what it is that we wanted. To me, Hera's also coming in here to just show you your worth and your value. Hera sometimes gets like a bad rep and stuff because she's the ultimate punisher of promiscuity and really adultery, right? And so she really doesn't like that, because she just wants people to stay to their word. She wants people to honor what they have, and to literally honor their own self-worth enough to understand that they don't need to take somebody else's partner. And I think Hera helps us master our own desires, and to not be succumb to them, and not to overcome to them, and to stay in our integrity, and to stay in our choices and our energy, even when desire and feelings overwhelm us. I think Hera is that reminder of that. And then this group and this collective that is going through this dark night of the soul, you're being overly critical of yourself right now, and you're lost in the illusion. You see this girl swimming in the water here, like she's lost in the illusion of it all. She's lost in these bubbles and these beauty. But sometimes beautiful things aren't that good for us, and sometimes we want to just check out into beautiful things, or into things that might feel like they make us happy, but they're actually not making us happy. They're not clearing out anything for us, because we are actually just avoiding the love, the pain within us that's calling for our own love and our own understanding and our own forgiveness, right? And sometimes we just need to go inside and just feel something for a good 10, 15 minutes, cry it out, get it out, really feel it, really say like, I forgive that. I love you. I will never let us go through that again. I will protect us. And then call in some divinity. Like I love the Holy Spirit. I love to be bathed in that golden, white, sparkling, diamond bright light, and just allow that to come through every pore and cell and fiber of my being, so that I am cleansed and purified and washed off of some heavy energies. And that is this very simple, powerful powerful way to transmute a lot of energy. And especially when you're in a dark night of the soul, those are the kinds of things that you want to have around you. Hera is also the goddess of abundance. You see that she has peacock feathers behind her. She's the goddess of enlightenment. So she's actually giving you a gift in clarity in some of this loss that you're going through. The dark night of the soul might have been triggered by a relationship loss. Maybe some of you are coming out of some of those toxic patterns of not valuing yourself. Maybe you're coming out of some third-party situations in love, and she's helping you navigate your way through that, because you're just going to know your value now. You don't need to have someone else's partner. You are going to figure out your own way through with things. And relationships are really messed up on this realm right now, so I'm not going to get all into that detail, but just whatever that it is, whatever it is that's causing you grief, or that you're sick of and tired because it's causing you pain, you're seeing it clearly now. This is part of your dark night of the soul. This might have been your tower moment, and Hera is helping walk you through it. And there's abundance in your future. I'm seeing all kinds of golden light. There's the cow here, which symbolizes that. And I can see you are alchemizing, you're winning. You're having victory over this darkness because you're understanding that you are the light. And you are allowing spirit to guide you, and you are allowing some of this energy, some of these patterns and these relationships that we have and these things that play out. These are karmas and these are dharmas. And sometimes we play them out for like a few cycles, and then all of a sudden we let them go completely because we don't need them anymore. Like they were actually clearing stuff from past lives, and some old business that we had with those exact same souls also reincarnate to complete it. And then once you complete it, you don't have to do it anymore. So that's kind of cycles that I'm seeing with the third party in this particular collective right now, that you played out some relational cycles that were devaluing you, not really showing your worth, and you are now releasing those and moving forward in a new way. You're probably calling in marriage if she's here. Also power, stature, being a queen, leading others, leading other feminines. That's also what Hera stands for. And then Nephthys, she is the goddess. She's a sister to Isis. She protects you in all of this, so know that you're protected. So any mistakes that you might make when you're working through your shadow aspects, you're going to be protected. So don't worry, you're not going to like lose jobs and lose things that were meant for you, or things that were your destiny points. Anything that leaves, that doesn't come back, especially people, they weren't meant for you. Those are meant to teach you something, and that's why they were so powerful, and that's why they left an impact, and that's why your soul was like triggered by them, because they were a destiny point. They were a point on your soul contract that you needed to have and to fulfill, but they weren't meant to stay. What is yours will come for you, as long as you are letting go, not attaching to things, not attaching to the past, not attaching your identity to projections or things that other people aren't meant to work on, and you just keep moving forward in joy and pleasure and share and service to others, service to yourself, and really treating your own vessel and being with respect and with love. That's gonna pull the best path forward for you. It doesn't mean you're not gonna have challenges, but it's how you respond and react to those challenges. And when you really truly believe that everything is working in your favor, and you bring divinity into partnership with it, you get this beautiful flow going through life. And that's how you get through dark nights of the soul, and that's how you integrate the gifts at the end of the dark nights of the soul. Okay. So you're also stepping into some sort of stature and power and some sort of leadership position. And that might be why you're overly critical, but it's time to let that go. You're not perfect. You're not here to be perfect. You shouldn't pretend to be perfect. And you shouldn't allow other people trying to hold you to be perfect to dictate that either, because no one is perfect. And people that are addicted to perfectionism, they aren't perfect at all. And it will drive them crazy, and they will try to pull you back into that spiral, but just let it all go. No one is perfect. Be perfect in your imperfections, and like allow that to be, and let yourself make mistakes. And if other people try to hold you to that perfection, like let them know, I'm not trying to be perfect. Truly I'm perfect as I am, because that's how we were made, and we can always improve it. There's always room to improve, but also you're perfect as you are. If you don't like something that you did, if you feel regret over something that you did, change it. Don't do it again. Ask Creator to help you. Say like, higher self, soul, I don't like this. I can't believe that I did this. I don't want to act in this way again. Learn from it, and then don't do it again. Okay, so we have reimagine. We have guilt. Define who you are. Create who you want to be. Guilt. Past stronghold is no longer true from you. So I think that's old patterns that you're breaking, and those third-party relationships or situationships that you had going on. Maybe you're in a relationship right now and you had stepped out, and maybe you're not going to do that anymore. There's quite a few things coming up, and that maybe you're exploring some of your sexuality and now you really know what it is that you want from relationships, and all of that is okay. You really are defining who you are, and then now decide who do you want to be, and then write that down, and then ask the universe to mentor you and to show you how to create that, right? Guilt doesn't really have a place. Shame, guilt is no place. You should just let that go. It has no place in processing. Like if you did something wrong, apologize, and then learn from that mistake. Really look at it like, how old were you when you made that mistake? Like, have you made that mistake before? Is there a part of your inner child that needs to be worked with so you never make that mistake again? Like, work on it, work with yourself, and then let it go and move forward. Guilt is just not helpful. All of these cards are actually energetic portals as well, so just take a really nice look at them, because they're actually going to help you move through this. And remember, these readings are timeless, so whenever you're getting them, you are getting a transmission from my soul to yours. I'm a bridge for creator and pure source unconditional love, and I am committed to having healing come through me to you. So you are literally getting a transmission directly from creator of whatever it is that you need right now, because creator will merge it and make it be whatever you want. And through these cards, through this reading, and just remember, anytime you find this, it will be. And I am recording this on the Capricorn full moon right now in the Western Hemisphere. And then we have journey into darkness, know your heart and dreams, self-awareness, observe from a balanced perspective. So one of my other readings, I said one of the prayers that's really good for us is to just literally say, I am no longer willing to learn through pain or suffering. Like, I'm just no longer willing to learn. And I feel like some of you might love that in this dark night of the soul. Some of you might have already come to that conclusion on your own, and you might have already said that prayer. But you really have this self-awareness that you are not to blame for your past trauma. You're really understanding and putting into perspective, releasing any like victim mentalities, and you're really coming into an empowerment of like, okay, that was theirs, hurt people, this is mine. And now you're really journeying into the darkness of yourself of like, where did I make mistakes? Where am I holding resentment? Where am I still holding shame and guilt? And you're literally just releasing all of that. You're doing the process, as I said. You're like, hey, what did I learn from this? Why did that happen to me? What was I missing in my life or my experience that made me want to lash out in that way, or made me have that need that I wasn't able to fulfill it? And how can I fulfill it so next time I don't respond in that way, that I don't have these kind of issues? Yeah, you're really journeying deep into yourself, and you're really in this like process of reflection, and that's what we need to be doing in our dark nights of the soul. It is so helpful because it does bring that balanced perspective. And I'm your reminder to partner with divinity. I see that you're already doing it, but as you do that, you do get more of a balanced perspective, and it's clearing out any guilt that you might have had. Like I said, you're going to just apologize if you need to apologize, and you're just going to let go of anything that you no longer need, which is what I just pulled. What do you need to release? And so a waning moon, it's the second time that's come up today. We have the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So you might find yourself feeling agitated, angry, aggressive, irritated, or you might just be like more reactive right now. So really try to like take time away from people, try to journal, try to like beat the bed, I say, and kick the pillows and get any of that aggression and anger out, so you're not taking it out on other people. Just be really confident in this. Understand that you can do this. You can do anything, especially when partnered with divinity. You're going through really powerful change right now. Like, this was a huge tower moment for someone, this dark night of the soul. It is really causing you to look at your whole life, and you're just ripping everything down and being like, how is it that I want to live? How is it that I want to be? This is not how I imagined my life to be, and this is not what I'm going to put up with anymore. And that can go in many other ways. It doesn't have to do with a third party, marital, single relationship situations, but let's be real, relationships are one of the major catalysts to create a lot of emotion within us so that we have that change, right? Really being confident in yourself. Also, yes, whenever I'm in a dark night of the soul, or I'm lost, or I have any of my clients in it, I always recommend that my clients go and start volunteering. Really, like, or reaching out and doing something for someone else. Like, whenever you're in an energy where you feel like everything is kind of going wrong, or you feel like in a really dark kind of place, doing something kind and loving for someone else is always very helpful. You can go volunteer, you can go work at the food bank. There's so many things that you can do. There's so many things that you can do, and there's so many things that like you can use to up level your vibration and really reach out and connect to that web hearts and that web of womb that we're all connected to. And when you put love back through there, it reverberates and comes back to you, right? Whatever you're putting out, you're getting back in return. Okay, so just know that this dark night of the soul will not last forever. Be really excited for the powerful change that it's going to bring you. All of the blessings that I see that you wanted. Like this last tower here, this dark night of the soul that you were going through, it has literally pulled away every single thing that is no longer serving you, that was standing in your way of what you were trying to manifest. Because I see you have some clarity, and I can kind of feel like you're annoyed right now with like the fact that you're like, why isn't this showing up? Why is this here? But it's because there's things that you needed to release that you weren't being honest with yourself about. And that's usually why we get dark nights of the soul. But honestly, we're going through a lot more dark nights of the soul right now that are collectively driven, because if you resonate as a starseed and you are that light column, you are anchoring energy for a lot of the planet. And so as the planet goes through a healing or a heavy pocket, we are the ones in touch with all the frequency, all the layers, all the elements, all the levels. And so we actually end up transmuting that for the collective as well. I know it's not ideal to have that happen all the time, but it is one of the things that we're going through. So part of your dark night of the soul is that humanity is going through a heavy pocket right now. We're going through a heavy pocket of realization and of understanding that if we don't make some changes, if we don't step up, if we don't take our heads out of the sand in an essence, like, and stop letting some of these really dark things that are happening on the planet slide, where are we going to be as a human species in a little while, you know? And who's going to take care of our earth? There's like a lot of heavy pockets like that going on. And so know that that will contribute to your dark night of the soul. And so again, partnering with divinity is what takes down the overwhelm, because as a human, you're not supposed to do this by yourself. We are supposed to partner with divinity because this would be overwhelming. Leanna the lioness. So strength is coming through you. Leanna is from Greek mythology, attached with the lion, but she's obviously an aspect of Sekhmet as well. You're just learning about your own strength, your own holy fires. You're learning about your own emotional power, because when we have emotional intelligence, when we know what we're feeling and we validate ourselves, we appease ourselves, we soothe ourselves, when we know how to nurture ourselves and we know how to give ourselves what we need and we know how to rest, and we don't meet crazy expectations that are unrealistic, or we don't feel like we have to pander to other people's expectations of us, we find our own true nature and our own strength, and then our own purpose can birth from us so strongly, and our life gets really beautiful and really good from that. Okay, and then we have loyalty, the black hound. So this, to me, it resonates to Hecate so much. All of this is going to. Hecate has the ability to shapeshift. She is the mentor energy, and she talks about loyalty, and she always has dogs with her. And dogs are one of the ultimate symbolisms and creatures of loyalty, although I believe cats are just as loyal and loving when you know how to be with them. All animals actually are. We all have an animal that would resonate to us. Probably why I started with animals too. But dogs, like, this is a black hound, so this is a shadow. You're in the dark night of the soul right now, so it's really clearing out any relationships that's like showing you the truth of who is actually loyal to you, who is true, and who is like smiling to your face, and then who behind your back is talking about you. You're probably dealing with a lot of envy, a lot of evil eye, all of that kind of thing right now is coming to the surface, but you have the strength and the protection to deal with it. That's also why Nephthys was here, I see now. Then there's Hecate's Diphyton, sacrifice. So sacrifice doesn't mean what we think it means. You're not supposed to hurt somebody or hurt any animal or anything. You don't need to do that. That was like a miscommunication in spiritual realms for a long time, or misunderstanding. But like giving offerings, whenever Creator gives us something and then we say like, oh my gosh, like what did someone say to me that it was so beautiful? It was like, okay, imagine your father comes and brings you food, and then you're enjoying the food and you're eating the food, and then you go back and you give your father some of the food because you're like, well, you eat some too, like you enjoy it with us. That's kind of how like creation works. Like creation gives us blessings, and then when we go back and share it with Creator and we give thanks for it to our Creator, to whatever you believe is a higher power, then we get more blessings, and then the blessings keep amplifying, and then that's also how, like, why we show our gratitude. It makes the gift giver feel really great. And so like these sacrifices that you have been making and you have been giving are being blessed upon, and so don't forget to be grateful, don't forget to give back. And like honey might be significant, bees might be significant to this, but just really understanding that you gave up a lot of things to be on this spiritual path. You've really committed yourself spiritually, and that does not go unseen. That's why you're in this dark night of the soul. Like sometimes you get on the spiritual path and we're like, oh, it's going to be the rainbows and love, light, and blessings. It's going to be so amazing. And then we're like, why is it so dark? Like, why am I crying? Oh my gosh. Like, why does this hurt so much? Because lots of people have lost the fortitude to go through this dark night of the soul and to come out on top, right? But you have everything that you need. You have all the nutrients, the resources, internally and externally, to get through this. So do not give up, and do not understand that you will be asked to sacrifice things on this journey, things that you thought you wanted, things that you were attached to that you thought were so good for you. But sometimes when we sacrifice those things, the truth of it comes out, and that those things were never for us. They were never good for us. Those people, sometimes if it was a relationship, they didn't have our best interests at heart. They weren't telling us the truth. They were playing one way in front of us and doing something behind our back. So just understand that with some of the things that are leaving your life right now, and some of the things you're being called to let go of. And trust me, it always comes back and blesses you. Like the universe only trades up. So if something is taken away from you that you think is so good and like so yours and so wonderful, like you're gonna get that back tenfold in the most beautiful, actual purified way when you actually let it go, trust creator, trust divinity, and just keep moving with it. So know that in your dark night of the soul. Know that you are protected. Hecate's black hound is protecting you. Nephitis is protecting you. Lions are protecting you. Lions of Christ. You are protected. Nephitis. And you are just being shown who is loyal to you, and you have that black energy of protection. Black doesn't mean evil. We've been taught that because they are silly, but like black and darkness isn't evil. Okay, they're separate things, but good and evil exist in all things, in a sense, on this realm right now. Okay, so last card, we have Soteria, salvation. So just understand that this is what you prayed for. This dark night of the soul, this tower, it's going to lead you on the other side to all of these prayers. Okay, and so 3s are significant because there's 3 3s there. There's 2 2s and a 4. 1 and 4s might be significant right now, but like this is your salvation. You might not see it yet, but I see it for you because I've gone through so many dark nights of the soul. I remember the first ones are so dramatic and so upsetting, and I was like, what do you mean? I'm doing all these good things for my body. Why is everything falling apart now? It's because it's falling apart to come back together, which is the most annoying thing to hear when you're in a dark night of the soul, and I'm so sorry for that, but you need to hear it. And I love you, and I'm holding your hand through this, and you've got this, and lean into my energy. My higher self will help you. All of our guides and angels, we have our archangels, they will all help you with this. Actually, on that note, let's pull one archangel card before we go and see who is helping us with this. We have Hecate here, we have Nephitis, we have Hera. All of those are really beautiful goddesses. Hera loved her followers. So, oh my goodness, too many cards. Nope, we're not doing that. Not doing that. One card, Spirit, one card. And I'm trusting that Spirit is guiding whoever needs to be at this reading to this reading. And so hope. Hope is the archangel that's helping you right now. Authentic reclamation. It's time to call back all the lost parts of yourself, and that's what's happening. When you call back all of your power, and that's a great prayer too. I call back all my power in all directions of space and time that I've knowingly or unknowingly taken, or knowingly or unknowingly given, or that has been taken from me, in all directions of space and time, all timelines, all eras, all eons, all lifetimes, all realms. And you call it all back to you. It is such a powerful thing, and you're building hope right now. You're building hope. You are leaning into trusting that Creator has a plan for all of us. We are all part of a higher plan, and that everything is always working out as it should be, even if we don't feel like it is yet. And trust that you have desires in your heart for things that are going to come to you and birth into your experience for you, because you have those desires in your heart, because those are part of your soul contract and things that you conscripted to come here and experience and go through. And so trust that those things are coming to you, and they want you just as much as you want them. Okay, and that's where hope comes back in. Hope and faith, I think, go hand in hand. So I'll say that faith is in this reading as well. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I pray for you in this dark night of the soul that you find your way through, that you are blessed by the holy divinity that guides us all, and that you are in touch with the well springs of love, joy, peace, wisdom within your heart, and that those come through to you so strongly, that clarity comes through to you, that divinity guides you out of the labyrinths and the dark pockets of your mind, and that you are atoned with divine correction that liberates you and frees you from any demonic stronghold, from any entity attachment, from anything that is trying to lead you astray or keep you trapped. I pray that this dark night of the soul is the best thing that has ever happened to you, and that it emerges from you all of your clairvoyant capacities, skills, and tools and wisdoms that are internally inside of you and that are your inherent birthright to help you on this golden path with your purpose, with your destiny, with your alignment. I pray that you come into the highest order of wealth, abundance, peace, blessings, prosperity, and beauty and relationship, and that you are the gift that you are meant to be to this world, that you do not live in bitterness, resentment, regret, or revenge, that you let all of those things go to Creator and you pour unconditional loving light of Creator through yourself as the bridge to this planet in full faith. Amen. I love you. I hope that you have the very, very best full moon weekend wherever you are, and or whenever this finds you, that all these things activate with you, that you know that you can get through this. Be excited. Dark nights of the soul bring so many blessings and gifts on the other side. Never give up. Always just hold in, hanker in, borrow from divinity or Creator through prayer, whatever it is you don't have. If you need sanctuary, if you need courage, if you need bravery, if you need peace, if you need comfort, pray for those things. Ask Creator, may I borrow comfort from you until I find my own? Creator, may I borrow courage from you until I find my own? Creator, may I borrow confidence from you until I find my own? Those are great prayers to have, especially in a dark night of the soul. Remember, journal, work with a healer, work with people that like go dance it out, move it through your body, get outside in nature. Nature's the great healer. I love you, and I hope that you have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon.